Hey, it's Beth and it's the first video of the new year, so Happy New Year everyone. I thought I'd talk today about a topic that I said I'd talk about a while ago, which is my homestay experience. I was supposed to be staying for 3 weeks with them while I was studying Japanese at a university. This ended up being actually 3 days before they kicked me out. So I thought I'd just explain a bit of the background first. I had two options when I applied for this course. I could stay in a hotel or I could stay in a homestay family. And I thought homestay family was a better option for me because I know I was going to a foreign country by myself. It would be nice to have someone that I can call if I get lost or something. And also it would be a chance to improve my Japanese. If I was staying at a hotel, I'd just be going home and going to bed. But if I was staying with a homestay family, I'd be going home, having dinner with them, talking in Japanese. I thought it would be really beneficial. So on my application form I put that I was a real beginner of Japanese and I didn't speak very much at all. So I got paired with a family who spoke pretty good English. They'd lived abroad for 5 years, so I thought how it would work would be I would speak to them in Japanese, and if I made a mistake they'd be able to correct me, or I could ask in English, you know, how would I say this in Japanese, and they'd be able to tell me. This is not what happened. I spoke to a lot of people on my course as well, and they said that was what happened to them. You know, their families were really helpful if they could be, and you know, if they didn't speak such good English, they'd have, you know, a dictionary and they'd try their very best to communicate with them and be as helpful as they could. My family not so much. Yeah, whenever I made a mistake they kind of if they didn't understand, they just kind of ignore me and just carry on their conversations with themselves. And if I didn't understand something they were saying, I would be like, "Yukuri onegaishimasu," and they'd just say it just as fast, and I'd be like, "Moichido onegaishimasu," and they just say it, they just would ignore me completely and just get on with the conversation they were having with someone else. And yeah, what basically happened was I was just sat at the dinner table while the three of them had their own conversation in really fast Japanese, and I was just sat there like concentrating, trying to pick out the odd word. Maybe I could join in the conversation, but no, I couldn't understand, because I think part of it is that they were speaking really informal Japanese, casual Japanese, and that's not what I was learning at university, so I couldn't talk to them very much at all. It was quite sad because I think I lost quite a lot of my confidence in my Japanese, because it kind of made me not want to try. Like when I first went, I was like really trying to communicate, and I was just getting ignored, and by the end of it I just lost all my confidence. I didn't want to try at all. I was pretty much just speaking in English because that's the only way that they would communicate with me. If I tried to speak Japanese and I got it wrong, then they just ignored me. So it was not beneficial at all. But for most of the people on the course it was really beneficial. So I think my family, I was unlucky with them. Maybe they'd be suited to someone who spoke better Japanese, I'm not sure. But you know, don't let me put you off if you were thinking about doing a homestay. I know I was the only one that had problems with my family. Everyone else on the course had a great time. So yeah, I think it can be a really beneficial experience. Now to the reason that I got kicked out. Basically what happened on, I think, the second evening, whatever they'd given me for my dinner I'd had an allergic reaction to. I woke up the next morning, swollen lips, really red face, I had trouble breathing, and the next day I sat down for dinner with them and I said, you know, I've had an allergy, you know, look at me. Could you tell me what we ate yesterday? What were the ingredients? So I could try and figure out what my allergy is. And yeah, they didn't understand. So I tried English, they were ignoring me. So, you know, they were all just eating their meal and I was like, I'm not gonna start eating this if I'm allergic to it. So I just kept pestering, and eventually they told me the ingredients. I didn't recognise any of the names, so I, you know, put it into Google Translate. There was no English word, I was googling it. Yeah, I didn't know what it was. So I just said, you know, is this the same? Is this the same as yesterday? Are they the same? You know, I was holding up the picture of the food on my phone and I was saying, you know, is this in here? And they were just ignoring me, and I just said, you know, I was really ill. I didn't want to make myself worse. I just said, I'm really sorry, but I can't eat this if I don't know it's safe. I'll just eat rice, you know, I'm sorry, I can't eat this. And I was trying to be as polite as I could. I was getting a bit frustrated with them, to be honest. And their faces were so shocked by this. They'd basically reacted as if I just climbed up onto the table and just like knocked all the plates off and just been like, I am not eating this. Like, I tried my best to explain that I was having an allergy to it and please don't make me eat anymore, I'm sorry. And yeah, they were so shocked, and I tried to explain I'm not being rude, and just I don't want to make myself ill. And they were like, why did you come here? Like, why didn't you tell us that you had allergies before you came? And I tried to explain, we don't even have this food in England. I've never eaten it before. How could I have known that I'd have an allergy to it before I'd even eaten it? And this concept, they just did not understand it at all. They were just saying the same thing over and over, like, why didn't you tell us? They didn't understand that I couldn't have possibly known. So I went up to my room and the homestay father came in with a house phone. They just handed it to me and he was like, this is the homestay company. Barely looked at me, just like, homestay company. So I pick up the phone. I don't know why I thought this guy would be helpful or on my side at all, but he was really horrible. He was like, you're a selfish girl, you should go back to England where everyone is selfish, you shouldn't come to Japan if you can't eat the food. And I was so shocked. I was not expecting it at all. I don't know, this guy works with foreign students and I thought, you know, he'd be understanding. He must have to deal with this quite a bit, I would have thought. And I was like, you know, I couldn't have known, I couldn't have told them because I'd never eaten it before. I couldn't have known that I was gonna have an allergy to it. And yeah, he was not at all on my side. We met up the next day, he was saying all the same things, you know, you're a horrible young lady, horrible man. I tried reporting him actually to the university, saying, you know, he was a bit racist. I thought, you know, go back to the land of the selfish people is a direct quote from what he said. And they were like, oh no, I'm sure he's not racist. You know, I'm sure it was just a mistranslation or whatever. So, but basically, yeah, the next day he moved me to a guest house in Matsudo, and yeah, it was actually really nice, to be fair. The manager there, he was called Jason. He was a lovely man, really helpful. And I ran out of money one day, and I didn't have time to go to a cash point, so I was just eating plain pasta for dinner. And he came over and he was like, oh, I can't let you eat that. And he brought me like bread and some like snacks. And he was so nice. And everyone that was there, you know, was really friendly to me, you know, asked me where I was from and stuff. And I wish I'd been there the whole time because I think that would have been much better for me. A much better environment anyway. So I'd be really interested to know what you guys think. Are you on my side? Are you on the family side? Please let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I'll see you next time. Bye!